Hello students, welcome back. So today I am going to talk about Dalton's atomic theory. Now the concept that matter is composed of very tiny particles was given by some Indian and Greek philosophers. An Indian philosopher and an Indian Maharishi named Maharishi Kanad, he around 400 BC, he discovered that when you break any substance, which he stated as padarth, when you break any padarth and you keep on breaking it, a time comes when it can no longer be broken. That particular thing is called the kern. Alright, which is now known as the atom. After that, a Greek philosopher named Democritus, around 370 BC, he said the same thing, and he suggested that the ultimate particle of a matter is atom. Okay, so this word atom has been derived from a Greek word called atomos, which means indivisible. Now the old ideas were put forward on a scientific scale by John Dalton in the form of a theory called Dalton's atomic theory. Now there are some postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. First of all, the first postulate is matter consists of minute, indivisible, indestructible particles called atoms. Alright, so matter is made up of extremely small indivisible particles called atoms. Then atoms of the same element are identical to each other and they have the same mass and size. So this is pretty much obvious that if I am taking an atom of carbon, okay, so all the atoms of carbon, they have the same mass and size, right? And the mass and size of carbon is actually different from that of oxygen because both are different elements. But carbon and oxygen, okay, इनका अपने में जो इनका मास और साइज होता है दैट इज सेम. मतलब कार्बन में जितने भी कार्बन एटम्स होंगे उनका मास एंड साइज सेम होगा. ऑक्सीजन के जितने भी ऑक्सीजन एटम्स होंगे उनका मास एंड साइज सेम होगा. ओके, आफ्टर दैट atoms of different elements differ in properties and have different masses and size, which I have explained just now. Then after that, compounds are formed when atoms of different element combine with each other in simple numerical ratios, and the relative numbers and kind of atoms are always the same in a given compound. So this we have studied in law of chemical combination. After that, chemical reactions involve reorganization of atoms, and these are neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. So that is, atoms are indestructible, right? So this is the same thing that we have already discussed. So Dalton's theory could explain the law of chemical combination. That is, in the fifth postulate we can see here law of conservation of mass is stated. The first postulate also states law of conservation of mass, right? And this fourth postulate, it states kind of the law of constant proportion, right? So these are the theories or postulates which was given by Dalton. Now Dalton's atomic theory was a first successful attempt which gave us some idea about the inner structure of matter, right? It could very well explain the laws of chemical combination, but it failed to explain the Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes, right? So there were some failures which actually led to some problems. Therefore, later on, modified atomic theory was put forward. Alright, so this we will study in the next chapter, that is structure of the atom. So let's now begin the atomic and molecular masses. So Dalton's atomic theory, it proposed that atoms possess mass, right? Dalton's atomic theory, it states that atoms, they have some kind of mass. Fine. Moreover, we also know that atoms are too small to be isolated. Therefore, it is not possible to determine the actual mass of an atom by directly weighing the atom. Then the here question arises, how can we determine the mass of an atom? So in view of these problems, some indirect method had to be devised to find out the mass of the atoms. Okay, so it's possible, or you can say that one possible way was that we took a sample of the element large enough to be weighed, and by dividing the total mass of the sample by total number of atoms in the sample, mass of an atom of the element could be found out, right? So again there was a difficulty here also, that number of atoms in a sample could not be determined directly by counting. So this problem was solved by Avogadro. All right, so what did he do is, again I'm explaining here, that again atomic mass, let's start the atomic mass. Atomic mass, okay. So atomic mass, as I said, that it is the mass of an atom, right? And if I ask you children to weigh 1 kg of rice for me, you will do it using a weighing machine. You will place a weight on of 1 kg on the other end and weigh 1 kg of rice according to that. So here the 1 kg of weight is the standard which we are taking to measure the atomic mass. Similarly, as because atoms are very small, they cannot be seen with bare eyes, so we find out their absolute masses, or first we find out their absolute masses, and with the help of that we find out the relative mass of an atom, relative mass of an atom. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are measuring a mass of a particular atom, and we are relating the with the mass of the atom which we want to know what is the mass of that atom. So to measure the mass of an atom, it is possible to determine the relative masses of different atoms if a small unit of mass is taken as a standard, right? Similarly, जैसे कि आपने अभी मैंने बताया कि आपको अगर मैं राइस वे करने बोलूँ, आप एक वेट लेंगे जिसको आप स्टैंडर्ड मानेंगे, उसी के अकॉर्डिंग आप राइस वे करेंगे और वो लेंगे, ठीक है? उसी तरीके से हम क्या करते हैं, एटम्स के मास को मेजर करने के लिए हम एक स्टैंडर्ड लेते हैं, ठीक है? उस स्टैंडर्ड के थ्रू हम लोग ये देखते हैं कि हमारा जो एटम है वो कितना, उसका वेट कितना है, कितना भारी है या कितना हल्का है, ठीक है? सो बेसिकली वी आर टेकिंग अ स्टैंडर्ड हियर. सो विद द हेल्प ऑफ अ स्टैंडर्ड, द मास ऑफ एन अननोन एटम is calculated with that of a known atom. All right, so let's study something about the standard, these standards. At first, the hydrogen, initially hydrogen was taken as a standard. Hydrogen was taken as a standard. All right, and hydrogen's mass is 1. So the atomic mass of an element, according to this definition, it is defined as the number which indicates how many times the mass of one atom of the element is heavier in comparison to the mass of one atom of hydrogen. Right, now if you have one atom of oxygen, just suppose if you have one atom of oxygen, right? So you have to see that to calculate this mass of one atom of oxygen, how many hydrogen you are using. Okay, so the mass of hydrogen is taken as 1. So if I am taking 16 hydrogen atoms for one atom of oxygen, it means that the weight of oxygen is what? It is 16. Okay, it is 16, right? But there were some issues with the hydrogen. All right, what were these issues? The first of all, that hydrogen is very reactive in nature, Now if I want to know the mass of a substance called fluorine, okay, and we are using hydrogen with this for calculating, we are taking hydrogen as a standard. So if I take hydrogen and if I take fluorine over there, so I see that hydrogen and fluorine can react together and they form a hydrogen fluoride. So here the mass of fluorine was not calculated. So this was the problem. This was a basic problem. There were several other problems as well, like the hydrogen, when we are taking as a standard, the atomic mass of the most of the elements were fractional. Okay, so according to the old convention, when we were taking the hydrogen as a standard. Okay, so then the mass of oxygen was calculated to be 16, that of carbon to be 12, okay, and that of hydrogen to be 1. But because of these drawbacks, these problems, later on it was discarded. In 1958, oxygen atom was taken as a standard. Alright, in 1958, then oxygen atom was taken as a standard, but again there were few problems. So again oxygen atom was discarded to be taken as standard. Now in the year 1961, the International Union of Chemists, they selected a new unit or standard for expressing the atomic mass. This is that of the carbon-12 isotope. The carbon-12 isotope. Now the carbon-12 isotope is a stable isotope, okay, with the mass number of 12. So that is why we have taken as the standard of carbon-12, because it is a stable isotope and carbon is very abundant in nature. Alright, so it was given a mass of 12 AMU. Now what is this AMU? I will discuss it now. So what is atomic mass? According to this standard, that atomic mass is defined as a number that expresses as to how many times an atom of an element is heavier than 1/12th part of the mass of carbon-12 atom. Okay, so atomic mass of an element, it is the number which indicates how many times the mass of one atom, okay, is heavier. Mass of one atom is heavier than the element. Atom of the element is heavier in comparison to 1/12th part of carbon-12 atom. Now what is this 1/12th part? You must be thinking that why 1/12th part and what is this 1/12th part? Now for this I will give you one example. Okay, so now you can see here a watermelon is there. So a watermelon is cut into 12 equal pieces. Okay, so if the watermelon weighs 12 units, just suppose it weighs 12 kgs, then each piece will weigh 1 kg. Okay, now similarly, just imagine a carbon atom like this here, and now cut a carbon atom into 12 pieces like the watermelon. Okay, now each piece will weigh 1 atomic mass unit each. Fine. So the carbon we are cutting here is the carbon-12 isotope. Alright, not carbon-14. Why it is so? Because carbon-12 isotope has same number of electron, protons and neutrons, which is kind of even. But carbon-14, they have more neutrons. So that is why we cannot take carbon-14 as a standard. That is why we have not taken. So as I said that here each piece will weigh 1 atomic mass unit, or just say 1 unit. Alright, now let's put an helium atom on a side of a weighing balance. Just see here, just suppose we have a helium atom over here. Okay, now we want to weigh the mass of the helium atom with the help of the carbon atom which we just cut. Alright, now add 1 AMU on one side of the weight. Now we have cut the carbon atom now, right, into 12 equal pieces. So that first piece we are taking and we are measuring it, right, 1/12. If it is 1 AMU. Alright, now we can see that the weights are now still not balanced. Now add one more AMU over here. Now we can see this weight is still not balanced. After that, after adding 4 AMUs, I got that the weight of helium and that of carbon, unit of carbon, is balanced. So now we can say that the mass of helium is what? It is 4 atomic mass units, because 4 kind of pieces of carbon was needed to balance the helium. Okay, so similarly atomic mass of the other elements can also be studied with the help of this concept. That is why here it is said that 1/12th part of the carbon-12 atom. Alright, So if you want to calculate the atomic mass of a particular element, just say A, you want to calculate the atomic mass of an element, it is equal to the mass of one atom of the element, divided by 1 by 12th part of the mass of carbon 12 isotope. Okay, fine. So atomic mass is calculated with this. Now to calculate the atomic mass we need some unit, right? Because kg के लिए आपके मास के लिए हम कुछ यूनिट्स यूज़ करते हैं, है ना, टाइम के लिए यूनिट यूज़ करते हैं. उसी तरीके से एटॉमिक मास को मेजर करने के लिए भी वी नीड सम यूनिट. सो दिस यूनिट इज़ नोन एज द एटॉमिक मास यूनिट. एटॉमिक mass unit. All right, but already in the 19th century हाइड्रोजन को जब माना गया था एज अ स्टैंडर्ड, राइट, उस वक्त हाइड्रोजन के मास को ना, मतलब इनका जो इसको स्टैंडर्ड माना गया था, तो कहा गया था कि 1 AMU इज इक्वल टू द मास ऑफ हाइड्रोजन. ठीक है, बट नाउ अगेन वी आर टेकिंग कार्बन एज अ स्टैंडर्ड. सो अगर कार्बन के मास को भी हम अगर स्टैंडर्ड मान लेंगे, मतलब अगर 12 AMU को स्टैंडर्ड मान लेंगे, तो थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, है ना. तो इसी वजह से हमने क्या किया था कि जो 1 AMU हमने लिया, इट इज़ इक्वल टू द मास ऑफ कार्बन 12 एटम, उसको डिवाइड कर दिया हमने 12 से. ठीक है, so basically what we are doing, 1 AMU is equal to 1 by 12th mass of an atom, carbon 12 atom. So this quantity that you are seeing over here, 1 by 12th mass of an atom of carbon 12, it is known as the atomic mass unit and it is abbreviated as AMU. Fine. Okay, so now 1 AMU की value कितनी होगी? Now this 1 AMU, it must be having some value. So what is the value of this 1 AMU? So experimentally, after calculations in laboratories and so on, some calculations were made. So it was found out that the actual mass of one atom of carbon 12 is 1.9924 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams. So 1 AMU is equal to, what should be the value? 1 AMU is equal to 1 into mass of carbon 12 atom, that is the mass of one atom of carbon 12. It is 1.9924 into 10 to the power 23 grams divided by 12. So the value of 1 AMU is equal to 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. Alright, so this is the value of 1 AMU which you will be using now. So 1 AMU is equal to 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. Okay, so if you want to find out the atomic mass of an element, so you can calculate it easily like this. The mass of one atom of the element divided by 1 AMU. Okay, so here you must be thinking, what is actual mass, right? Now the actual mass, actually here it is calculated using mass spectrometer. Okay, but what is actual mass? Actual mass or absolute atomic mass represents the mass of one atom of element. Actual mass is what? Mass of one atom of element. Actual mass is mass of one atom of an element. And what is relative mass? Relative mass is what? Just now I have said relative mass is, it represents how much an atom is heavier than 1/12 mass of an atom of carbon 12. So we find out the relative mass of the elements which we use as the mass, right? So now this is the thing I think you must have understood up to now. So atomic mass of the element is calculated as mass of one atom of the element divided by one atomic mass unit. Now just suppose if you have to calculate the example, you have to calculate the actual mass and relative mass of hydrogen atom. So how do we calculate it? Now to calculate the actual mass, what you have to do it is actual mass of an atom of hydrogen atom is equal to the atomic mass in AMU into 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. So atomic mass of hydrogen is 1.008 AMUs into 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. So you can see here that the actual mass of an atom of hydrogen is this, right? Fine. And let's find out the relative mass of hydrogen. Relative mass of hydrogen means how much an atom of hydrogen is heavier than that of an atom of carbon 12. Okay, so relative mass of hydrogen, again just now I have discussed, you have to write the mass of an atom, or you can say the actual mass of an atom divided by the 1 AMU, that is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. So here you can see actual mass is 1.6736 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram, and 1 AMU's value is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. Okay, so you can just calculate it using this and you will find out the actual mass of hydrogen is this much AMU. Now just see over here that the actual mass of hydrogen is this much, but the relative mass of hydrogen is this 1.0080 AMU, isn't it? So you can clearly see here that the actual mass of hydrogen here, it is slightly greater than 1 AMU. Alright, ठीक है? So this, an actual mass of hydrogen and relative mass of hydrogen निकालने के लिए आपको relative mass of hydrogen निकालने के लिए हाइड्रोजन का actual mass पता होना चाहिए, तो कि निकाला जाता है मास स्पेक्ट्रोमीटर से। उसी तरीके से actual mass निकालने के लिए आपको atomic mass of hydrogen पता करना होगा, जो कि basically relative mass है, जो कि है 1 AMU। ठीक है, तो हम लोग जो है ना 1 AMU देख सकते हैं, रिलेटिव मास जो हम लोग हाइड्रोजन का यूज़ करते हैं 1.0080 AMU होता है, बट इसको हम लोग राउंड ऑफ करके 1 लिख लेते हैं, ठीक है, फॉर ईज ऑफ कैलकुलेशन. So similarly, the actual mass and relative mass of hydrogen can be calculated in other ways also, and of all the elements you can calculate it using this method only. So the actual mass of oxygen is 2.656 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams, and the actual mass of relative mass of oxygen is 16 AMU. Okay, this is the actual mass and this is the relative mass. Alright, and actual mass is what? It is the mass of one atom of oxygen, and relative mass is the mass of one atom of oxygen as compared to the mass of carbon 12 isotope. Alright, so this is what it means. And nowadays there is a new symbol which is called U, which is known as unified mass, which is placed in place of AMU. So in place of AMU also sometimes you can see this U written, so it is nothing but the unified mass. Alright, now what is average atomic mass? Now the second thing here that we have to study is the average atomic mass. So average atomic mass क्या होता है, जरा सोच के देखो. See, many naturally occurring elements are there which are basically a mixture of several isotopes. All right, there are several naturally occurring elements which are basically a mixture of several isotopes, and isotopes are the different atoms of the same element having same atomic number but different mass number. So atomic mass is equal to the average of the atomic mass of all the isotopes. So to calculate the atomic mass of these isotopes, we find out or we calculate the average atomic mass, means the average of all the atomic masses of all the isotopes. All right, so that is why it is termed as average atomic mass, and basically it is generally fractional. So average atomic relative masses इज़ अगेन रिलेटिव, जहाँ टर्म आएगा समझ जाना है कि वो कार्बन 12 से हम कंपेयर कर रहे हैं उसको, इसके मास को, ठीक है. सो एवरेज रिलेटिव मास ऑफ एटम्स ऑफ एन एलिमेंट एज कंपेयर्ड विद एन एटम ऑफ कार्बन 12 टेकन एज 12 ले रहे हैं या हम स्टैंडर्ड ले रहे हैं, ठीक है. सो नाउ व्हाट इज़ द फॉर्मूला फॉर कैलकुलेशन ऑफ एवरेज एटॉमिक रिलेटिव मास? So average relative atomic mass of an element, there is a formula which is basically very easy. It is the summation of percentage abundance divided by 100 into its atomic masses. All right, so now for example the chlorine, let's find out the average relative mass of chlorine. Okay, now chlorine in nature, it is found as a mixture of two isotopes, chlorine 35, which has an atomic mass of 34.969 AMU, and another isotope of chlorine is there, chlorine 37, which its atomic mass is 36.966 AMU. Okay, so these are found in the ratio here as 75.73%, and it is found 24.47% in nature. This is the relative percentage abundances. all right, ये इतना परसेंट ये नेचर में प्रेजेंट रहता है और ये इतना परसेंट इस नेचर में प्रेजेंट रहता है. सो टू कैलकुलेट द मास ऑफ क्लोरीन और relative mass of chlorine, so we have to find out the average. So how do we do it? It's very easy. So here, as you can see here, summation of percentage abundance into atomic mass divided by 100. Percentage abundance कितना है इस chlorine 35 का? It is 75.53 divided by 100 into its atomic mass. क्या है? 34.969 प्लस यहाँ पे summation है तो हम ऐड करेंगे क्लोरीन 37, इसका परसेंटेज अबंडेंस है 24.47 डिवाइडेड बाई 100 इंटू 36.966. When you will solve this, you will get this answer 35.5 AMU. So this is the average relative mass of chlorine. Okay. Similarly, there are some other isotopes also whose average relative atomic masses can be calculated. Now, after that, next is the molecular mass. All right, next is the gram atomic mass. So gram atomic mass क्या होता है? See, gram atomic mass is very easy. It is nothing but the atomic mass of an element which is expressed in grams is called the gram atomic mass. All right, or basically it is defined as that how much quantity of the element whose mass in gram is numerically equal to its atomic mass. So, for example, if I say that the atomic mass of hydrogen, we know it is 1.008 AMU. Okay, and thus the atomic mass of hydrogen in gram is 1.008 gram. This is the gram atomic mass, which is abbreviated as GAM. All right, कुछ नहीं, atomic mass को ही ग्राम में लिख दोगे. This is the gram atomic mass. All right. सो ग्राम एटॉमिक मास क्या है, हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं इसको? ग्राम एटॉमिक मास इज इक्वल टू एटॉमिक मास expressed in grams, that is the gram atomic mass. तो इसको हम ना एटॉमिक मास जो हम लिखते हैं, जिसको हम एक्सप्रेस करते हैं ग्राम में, उसको कहीं कहीं पे आपको ग्राम एटम भी मिलेगा. इट इज़ ऑल्सो नोन एज ग्राम एटम. ऑल राइट, ठीक है. सो बट नेवर गेट कन्फ्यूज बिटवीन दीज टू टर्म्स, ग्राम एटम एंड मास ऑफ एन एटम. ठीक है, एक होता है मास ऑफ एन एटम और एक होता है ग्राम एटम. इन दोनों में कंफ्यूज मत करना. देखो, मास ऑफ एन एटम जो होता है ना, इट इज़ द एक्चुअल मास. मास ऑफ एन एटम क्या है? इट इज़ द एक्चुअल मास. एन एक्चुअल मास अभी हमने सीखा था, वो क्या होता है? मास ऑफ वन एटम. मास ऑफ वन एटम ऑफ एन एलिमेंट. ठीक है. और जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अभी मैंने आपको बताया था कि ऑक्सीजन के वन एटम का मास, मतलब जो एक्चुअल मास होता है ऑक्सीजन का, इट इज़ 2.66 इंटू 10⁻⁻23 ग्राम्स होता है. ठीक है. पर उसका ऑक्सीजन का जो ग्राम एटॉमिक मास होता है ना, इट इज़ 16 ग्राम. तो 16 ग्राम हम क्या लेते थे? रिलेटिव मास लेते थे ना. रिलेटिव मास जो होता है वो होता है आपका ग्राम एटम के बराबर. ठीक है. So the mass of one atom of an element is known as the actual mass of the element, which is the mass of the element. And when we are talking about the gram atom, means the mass of 1 gram of an element. All right, mass of an atom जो कि ग्राम में हम लिखते हैं, ग्राम एटॉमिक मास. फाइन, विथ दैट इज़ द ग्राम एटम. और उसको हम लोग कैसे निकालते हैं? वो हम लोग रिलेटिव मास निकालते हैं ना. रिलेटिव मास मतलब मास एज कम्पेयर टू द कार्बन 12 ग्राम ऑफ कार्बन 12 आइसोटोप, 1/12 ग्राम ऑफ द कार्बन 12 आइसोटोप. ठीक है. तो यही चीज़ है, इनके बीच में कंफ्यूज नहीं करना है. नाउ अनदर थिंग इज़ देयर, sometimes you need to calculate the gram atoms also. So how do we do it? Using this formula. Number of gram atoms equal to mass of the element in grams divided by the atomic mass of the element. Okay. So in this way you can easily calculate, if the mass of an element is given and atomic mass of the element you know, you can easily calculate how many gram atoms are there in the element. Okay. So here just see, calculate the gram atoms in 2.3 gram of sulfur. So just now we have seen the formula. Number of gram atoms is equal to here mass of the element in grams divided by atomic mass. Mass of the element in grams is given, it is 2.3 grams, and that of sodium is 23 grams, so it is 0.1 grams. Okay. Now moving on to the next next term, that is molecular mass. So molecular mass, as we all know, it is the sum of the atomic masses of the elements present in a molecule. Okay. So how do we obtain molecular mass? It is obtained by multiplying the atomic mass of each element by the number of its atom and then adding them together. For example, if you want to find out the molecular mass of methane, CH4, so what we do is, how many carbon atoms are there? 1. And what is the atomic mass of carbon? That we will write over here. Then we will add, and how many hydrogen are there? 4. And what is the atomic mass of hydrogen? We will write over here. So atomic mass of carbon is 12 plus atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. We'll round it off. So it is 12 plus 4, which is 16 U or AMU. Okay. So this is the molecular mass. So similarly you can calculate the molecular mass of other molecules as well. Next is the gram molecular mass. Gram molecular mass is again when molecular mass of a substance is expressed in grams, it is called the gram molecular mass. Alright. For example, that oxygen, the molecular mass of oxygen is 32 U. If it is expressed in grams, we can easily write it as 32 grams, which is the gram molecular mass of oxygen. Alright. Now again here is the term that never get confused between the term gram molecular mass or gram molecule or mass of one molecule. ठीक है. ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल क्या है? अगेन आपको वही होगा कि जब मॉलिक्यूलर मास को हम ग्राम में एक्सप्रेस करते हैं ना, उसको हम ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल भी कहते हैं. ठीक है. तो ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल क्या है? अगेन ये आपका रिलेटिव मॉलिक्यूलर मास होगा. रिलेटिव मॉलिक्यूलर मास जो कि हम लेते हैं रिलेटिवली. ठीक है. कार्बन 12 के आइसोटोप के साथ जो मास को हम वैरी करके मेजर करके निकालते हैं, दैट इज़ द रिलेटिव मास. ठीक है. एंड मास ऑफ वन मॉलिक्यूल, इट इज़ द एक्चुअल मॉलिक्यूलर मास, ठीक है। तो मास ऑफ वन मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ ऑक्सीजन इज 5.32 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams, and the mass and the gram molecular mass, that is GMM, of oxygen is 32 grams, ठीक है। एक एटम का 16 है, 2 एटम से 16 into 2 32. So mass of one molecule of a substance is known as the actual molecular mass. All right. Now similarly, you can calculate here that calculate the gram molecular mass of sugar having molecular formula C12H22O11. So first of all, molecular mass of sugar you have to find out. It is how much? 12 or 1 into 12 plus 22 into 1 plus 11 into 16, which is equal to 342. Okay, so gram molecular, if I write this 342U into gram, ये हो जाएगा gram molecular mass, ठीक है, 342 grams. So this is the thing. All right, now अब हमें क्या निकालना है? ग्राम मॉलिक्यूलर मास ऑफ शुगर हैविंग मॉलिक्यूलर फार्मूला. तो ये तो निकल गया हमारा ग्राम मॉलिक्यूलर मास. Now again the second question is over here, that the mass of 0.5 gram molecule of sugar. Find out the mass of 0.5 molecule of sugar. Now अभी हमने देखा that 1 gram molecule of sugar has mass कितना है? 342 grams, ठीक है. तो 0.5 ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ शुगर का मास कितना हो जाएगा? 342 into 0.5, which is equal to 171 gram. Alright, so this is how you are going to calculate. Similarly, second question, gram molecule of sugar. So what you have to do is you have to calculate the gram molecule of sugar in 547.2 ग्राम. मतलब 547.2 ग्राम में टोटल में 1 ग्राम में कितना शुगर है, ठीक है, कितना ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल, तो वही हमें निकालना है. तो अगेन हम वही करेंगे, दैट 342 ग्राम ऑफ शुगर मेक्स 1 ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ शुगर, 1 ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ शुगर. सो 547.6 ओके, हियर 542.6 ग्राम ऑफ शुगर में कितने ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल्स होंगे? 1/342 इंटू 542.6. जो आंसर आएगा वही ग्राम मॉलिक्यूल इसमें आंसर आएंगे, ठीक है. नाउ हियर फॉर्मूला मास. द नेक्स्ट वी हैव इज फॉर्मूला मास. नाउ व्हाट इज फॉर्मूला मास? नाउ फॉर्मूला मास इज very easy. All right, so basically for ionic compounds, the compounds which are ionic, we use the term formula mass. All right, the compounds which are ionic, we use the term formula mass for these type of compounds. So how to calculate the mass over here of formula mass, you can say. Now let's see. So in case of ionic compounds, the formula of the compound does not represent its molecule, but only represent the ratio of different ions in the compound. This is called a formula unit of the ionic compound. Now in such compound, therefore we do not use the term molecular mass. Okay, we do not use the term molecular mass. Why it is so? Because it does not represent the mass correctly. Okay, so we use formula mass. We use the term formula mass. So formula mass of an ionic compound is obtained by adding the atomic masses. By adding the atomic masses of all the atoms. Atomic masses of all the atoms in a formula unit. In a formula unit. Now you can see here the picture of NaCl. Now NaCl is, placed like this. ये एक क्रिस्टल के फॉर्म में 3 डायमेंशनल स्ट्रक्चर इसकी होती है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे Na प्लस एंड Cl माइनस आयन इस तरीके से पैक्ड रहते हैं ना, 3D स्ट्रक्चर. सो फार्मूला मास NaCl का निकालने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे? हम लोग फार्मूला मास NaCl का निकालने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे? हम लिखेंगे एटॉमिक मास ऑफ NaCl में क्या है? एटॉमिक मास है हमारे पास किसका? सोडियम का, प्लस एटॉमिक मास of क्लोरीन. ठीक है. The atomic mass of sodium 23 U plus that of chlorine is 35.5. Average हमने निकाला था अभी कुछ देर पहले. It is 58.5 U. Formula mass when it is expressed in grams. Formula mass when it is expressed in grams, it is called gram formula mass, abbreviated as GFM. Alright, so ionic compounds, they do not contain discrete molecules as their constituent units, so that is why we calculate the formula mass of ionic compound instead of molecular mass. Alright, but the method of calculating is almost same. Fine. So this is today's video. I'm signing off now. In the next video, I will be explaining the mole concept. That's all for today. Thank you so much.